Hello. Today I'm going to be talking about how to train a climbing rose on an arbor. So firstly, the tools you'll need: some good gloves, good sturdy gloves. You should wear long sleeves, obviously because some of these thorns are quite prickly. You will also need a pair of good cutters or secateurs that have been sharpened and cleaned. You'll need something to tie the plant to the arbor, to attach the plant to the arbor, preferably a jute rope. So when attaching the canes to the arbor, try to avoid using plastic ties as they can cut into the canes and expose the rose to disease. Instead, use jute like this. Here it is, same thing but in green, because that is more flexible and it will also rot over time. You also use this plastic material because it's stretchy, but the preferable material is definitely the oldest, and that's the jute rope. Works every time. So as a rule of thumb, before starting work on your rose, it's a good idea to take a step back to review the overall structure that you have and that you want. In some cases, to do that, you may need to defoliate, remove any spent leaves, although that isn't an issue with this rose. And then just some basic guidelines. So one is try to avoid weaving the canes through your arbor. Instead, attach them, ideally in an S shape if they're flexible enough, because if you weave them, they can rub against the arbor. That can damage the rose, open it up to disease. And then before starting, always start at the bottom and work your way up the rose when making cuts. To do that, you avoid then making any drastic mistakes. If you started from the top, you can't really see the structure of the rose. So start from the bottom, work your way up to the top. And as a general rule, each plant should have 3 to 5 main canes. The main canes are the vertical canes. They produce the growth for the rose. And then you have lateral canes that come off of those main canes. They produce the buds. For an overview on pruning all kinds of roses, see my other video, Pruning Roses, a 5-step guide. So, working from the bottom to the top and identifying what we have here. So you can see that I've got several secondary main canes that have come off of the main plant. Also some over there and some up there. This rose has been somewhat neglected, although it's a fantastic grower. So identifying any dead, dying or diseased, again starting from the bottom. So I can see this cane here is dead, so that can go. You should also look for any twiggy branches like this that are brown, so that is obviously dead. As a guide, green is good, and a kind of purple color is the new growth. That is good. So you're looking for anything that is the 3 Ds: dead, diseased, or dying. And I think seems drastic, but I'm gonna remove this guy to give the rest of the plant room for growth. The same for this guy, because he's really not close enough to the arbor. I would have to really twist and manipulate him to, plus he's also impeding the way through here, so he can go too. So the structure that I want from this rose, it's become quite overgrown. So again, starting from the bottom to the top, I'm going to work my way through. I'm going to thin out a lot of it, remove a lot of the ties that are on there from last year so I can really see the structure. In some cases, I've not obeyed the rules and I've twined things through, so there's a lot to cut off there. I really need to remove some of these main canes as they don't make sense. And it's a good rule as you go to cut it up into smaller, manageable pieces. So that you don't get overwhelmed at the end. I also have to keep this rose trimmed in order for the railroad to run. So this guy has to go. And unfortunately, this one has to go. Plus, it's not looking that healthy, and he interferes with my tomatoes. I know that looks quite drastic. That's because it is. This poor guy hasn't had a good pruning in many years. So continuing, again working from the bottom to the top, identifying any dead, dying or diseased, and cutting them out. Like so. I think even though he's a new shoot, I think he should go over there. Again, moving way up this whole one is dead. So this is dead. And down here. So when making cuts, to encourage the rose to grow in the direction that you want it to cut, you should look for inward and outward facing buds. So this is an inward facing bud, it's an outward facing bud. If you wanted this limb, this cane, to grow that way, you would leave that bud. If you wanted it to grow that way, you would leave that bud.